COVID Open.
This is the COVID Open of the Casual Hour. Thanks for taking it right out of my mouth there, Johnny.
He's back.
I'm back.
You're alive.
What I would recommend not doing is going to Canada and getting COVID. I would recommend going to Canada, but do not go there to get COVID.
Okay.
Don't get coughed on by Justin Trudeau. It will not turn out well for you.
Yeah.
How much poutine did you eat?
Only one thing of poutine. And
that's all you need, right?
Yeah, I mean, look.
One thing? What? Okay, sorry. What unit of measure? What is a thing here? Is a thing like a bowl? Is a thing like a truckload?
This was like a smaller, like aluminum pan. We had it at a brewery, and they had what I would call like maybe like a large and medium sized fry combined with cheese curds, gravy, and green onion. And
I was gonna ask, like, what is the traditional poutine at this point? I know gravy, cheese curds, gravy, and fries. That is the traditional, and then anything else is just kind of bonuses.
Yep, for sure. Okay. What's cool is
it feels a little bit like the American Slinger, in that, like, hey, there's a handful of things that have to be in here, and after that,
a bunch of shit.
You just fucking go crazy. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, the other thing too that you're gonna get with like Slingers, even it becomes more regional. And so, like, maybe where I was at in Canada, like that, what I perceive to be like a standard poutine, they'll be like, oh no, that's more of like a Northern Canadian version of poutine. Like maybe the Southern one.
Right, like you get bacon bits on it, and it's like, oh, the Edmonton style.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I guess.
So, I am back.
How does Chris Jericho eat his poutine? That's what I want to know.
He tears the wall down and then he eats it.
The champion.
I want to say thank you.
The Ocho is how he goes to Eastern.
To you too. And I want to shout out our friend of the show, Matt Jaguar, for just stepping in and keeping the show going while I was out. I realized, for those listening, if you've never watched our show, we do a live show. This is actually episode 293 of the Casual Hour. It's October 5th. We're going to talk to you.
That's a lot of fucking episodes, man.
It's a lot of fucking episodes. We're going to be talking about October games tonight, and we're going to be showing you those trailers. So if you're listening to this, I kind of run all of our production when it comes to our streams, whether it would be our actual podcast you're listening to or one of our Monday and Friday night hangouts where like the group of us play video games together or with some of our friends. And we had figured we wouldn't be doing this show live while I was out, so we did a little stuff behind the scenes to get some episodes in the hopper. But then when I got sick, we had to figure out what to do. And again, just with me not being able to run the stream effectively, the guys came together and recorded an episode with Jiggy, which was awesome. But we are, like, so far this week, we've had a Casual Monday, we've got our episode tonight, we look to be ready for a Casual Friday. All that to be said, we are back and here to talk to you about some video games. I'm Bobby. Chase is here with us. Hey Chase, how you doing?
You know what? I'm doing well. I'm in a bowling league now.
Nice.
Through my job. And tonight was the league before the show, and I don't know if proud's the right word, but I bowled. So we did two games. I bowled a 132 and then a 140.
Oh gosh!
I feel okay about that. As long as I'm in like the 120 to 150 range, that's where I belong.
Nice, man.
Felt okay about it.
And Johnny, how are things going with you?
Not too badly.
Good.
Going to Nashville tomorrow for a concert.
Who are you going to see?
Caroline Rose.
Okay.
We were supposed to see her in St. Louis last year and ended up not being able to go for some reason. So it'd be cool to finally see her.
You'd like to drive many more hours to go see.
I will go to Nashville anytime. I love Nashville. It's such a fun place to visit.
You're gonna get some hot chicken.
Maybe.
They go to Nashville to get tacos, the taco capital of the world.
Yeah, we go to Moss Tacos. Usually go to Loveless Cafe, which I can't recommend enough. Yeah.
Have you been to the Parthenon?
I have.
Oh, yeah.
That is so cool.
It
is so fucking weird. It's so weird that it's there.
But it's amazing.
I fucking love it. It's one of the coolest things. Yeah, if you're in the Nashville area, go visit the Parthenon, it looks like the fucking Parthenon in Greece, because it basically is. Like Johnny said, it's a one-to-one thing. They have a lot of, I mean, it's a museum, but
Right.
it's they've got a lot of one-to-one recreations, like the statue of Athena with the Aegis.
Yeah.
is there in like a
Oh, yeah.
restored form. Like, this is what it looked like, this is what they think it looked like in Greece. It's just super fucking cool. It's one of the coolest things. I went when I was in college, and I was taking like Greek mythology courses at the time, because they were like really easy entry level stuff that was just kind of a fun thing to have as some extra credits. And I just had such a blast going there. It was so cool.
Well, let's talk about, outside of cool things in Nashville, let's just do a quick overview of what people can expect tonight. So we're going to talk about the games that we've been playing. We're then going to go over our picks for the month of September and see how they held up. And then we're going to talk about the games coming out in October. We're going to have some trailers going over. So you can expect to hear things about Wild Frost, the Steam Next Fest in general. We're going to talk about Easy Come, Easy Golf. A handful of games for me, ranging from Slime Rancher to Shovel Knight to Grounded. Johnny's going to talk a little bit about Overwatch 2, some Wasteland news. So we've got a lot of stuff to get through tonight. Cozy up. Let us know what you think. We will have those trailers playing. If you're in chat, let us know what games you're excited about that we cover, and if there's anything that you're looking forward to playing. And if you're listening to this, drop us an email, thecasualhour@gmail.com. Let us know what games you like, and we'll make sure to circle back on the next episode. All that to be said,
question. Any of that stuff's fun. We'd love to answer some mail.
All that to be said, Chase, what you been playing?
I've been playing a couple things. I find myself playing a lot more Easy Come Easy Golf. I know that's something we've talked about. This is the clap hands golf that has gotten new life on the Nintendo Switch.
You are in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think having the control, I know it had controller support on iOS, but that's just not how I played it on an iPad. But on a Switch, I'm definitely using those triple tap controls. It feels so good to play, and it's something that I can sneak in rounds really easily with my job. Like, oh, I've got like a spare 10 minutes. Oh, I can get 9 holes in.
It's a very pick-upable game.
Totally.
So,
and
question.
What's up? Yeah.
Does this technically count as a 2022 release?
No.
Because it is a different name.
I mean, I think, you know, in the spirit of the rule, probably not. It definitely feels a little bit different from the original version. Mostly because every you can only do courses that are 9, or I just unlocked 18-hole courses at this point. Mm-hmm. So I know in the original iOS you were able to do like, oh, it's 3 holes or it's 7 holes or something that was a little quicker, because being on iOS, it was something that you needed a quick hit. Okay, you can just play this like 3-hole tournament and be good. Those just don't exist here anymore. So you only can do the 9-hole stuff, or you can do like the little challenges on the side to get different character costumes. So it's something that's a little less.
I'm pretty sure those links are on the, because I fired this up when I was cruising in the air.
So
I think it's there.
The on iOS there are 9 and 18s.
Yeah.
But it also, when I first had the iOS version, maybe they've changed it at this point with updates, but there were 3 holes or 5 holes, and there are not 3 holes or 5 holes on the Switch version. It is 9 or it is nothing, and until you got to rank 10, and now we have 18 hole options as well. Which is fine. Like it makes more sense. I'm on more of a substantial kind of console, so you
even
probably
if you
want
stop,
a longer.
you can just put it to sleep.
I mean, I think my phone has more power than the Switch at this point.
Yeah, it's not a power thing. It's a, when are you going to use that thing? When you're on a phone, you're like, I don't know, waiting for your Chinese food, and you have 5 minutes. When you're playing a Switch, you're
on a rooftop at a party with your friends around.
Exactly. Yeah. And everybody knows a rooftop party lasts longer than 5 minutes. So you're going to play a longer amount of time.
You play the long game, Chase, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is that game is still fantastic. I've been unlocking a lot more characters and been having a lot of fun. I think I told you I liked Mia the last time we talked about this, and she's a beginner player who I really like still. She's still great. But now I'm unlocking intermediate and expert players, and holy shit, some of these players are so much better and so much more fun to play. So now, like, I unlocked Selena, who is like the assistant who is there all the time and is like kind of guiding you through the experience. And she just unlocks and she's like, "Oh, hey, I'd like to play some golf," and she just joins your team, and you can play with like this ridiculously overpowered character whenever you want. So she's great. And then I just got to rank 10, and that's where they unlock the 18 hole courses now, or the 18 hole tournaments. I think they say it's going to be the same 9 hole courses that you play, and then it's going to be a mirrored version for the other 9 in those same tournaments. But when you unlock 10, rank 10, I unlocked a guy named what's his name? It's like Dan Bro is his name, and he's just this super jacked black guy who's just like giant top, who's just absolutely muscles, and then kind of like slender legs. He's just so top heavy. He's great. I fucking love him. But then, more important, Bobby, I feel like I've mentioned this to you about 1,000 times, that I really like the caddy that the opponents have. And I don't really like the caddy that you have. When you hit rank 10, she unlocks as one of your caddy options.
There
and
you
I'm
go.
like, oh fuck! Oh my god, I got her! That's the one I wanted. So now I have her name is Zhang Lu. So Zhang Lu is now my caddy, and I could not be happier. She's so good.
I'm not surprised that you are happier based off of that caddy.
Yeah, there's I don't know how much more it goes, how many more ranks it goes up, but I'm still really having a fun time unlocking new characters and unlocking new costumes. The one thing, a lot of the extra costumes suck. Like the other color options are fine, but like the bonus costumes, it seems like they're trying to go with there's like costume 1, which is their golf attire, and then costume 2 is more like akin to what they're about, like what their job is, or what their identity is. So there's a character named Olive who's an artist, and she's wearing like a little golf dress in 1, and then in her bonus costume she's got like a tool belt with paintbrushes on it because she's an artist. Or there's like a character's a DJ, so he's golfing 1, and then in the other one he's got like headphones wrapped around him and like a jacket that's wrapped around his waist, and it's fine. I really wish that Don Pappas had a better second costume than his.
Oh yeah, we talked about that
Mexican
a lot.
sombrero and serape thing, but what can you do? Anyway, that game continues to be awesome. I'm just gonna keep on playing it now.
Nice.
I'm so glad that it came to Switch, because it really has given a new life to that game that I never would have experienced if I had only played that iOS version, because I didn't get nearly as far in that version as I have here. So that's been a lot of fun. And then the other game I've played, so we actually played this on Monday, and I think people should go back and check out that Casual Monday stream. But we were playing some games from the Steam Next Fest, some demos. And one of the demos, I think it's the one we started with, is called Wild Frost. Yep. And I thought, despite the name being really generic, I keep typing it in as Warfrost every time I'm looking for it, and I was like, that's just not right. It made searching for it on Steam very difficult, because I kept going, what the fuck was it? I actually had to go back to our stream and watch the beginning of our stream to find out what the name of the fucking game was.
Wow, you could have just texted me.
I could have. I absolutely. I mean, at the time it was like 1 a.m. when I was trying to grab it, so I didn't want to bother you. But I picked up Wild Frost, and I played a little bit more of that demo. In fact, I played all of the demo. I got through to the point where it says, "Hey, you finished the demo. There's going to be more in the full version." And I think that game is pretty cool. So to give you the very quick thing, because again, I think people should just watch our Monday stream if they want to see what this game's about. But it's a turn-based card deck builder game. You've definitely seen these kinds of games before. We've definitely played these kinds of games before on Casual Mondays.
I just feel like my Chase Kinnicky bingo card.
Yeah, no, totally. It is absolutely in our wheelhouse, and that's why I wanted to try it. I think it's got some really nice presentation, especially for something that is in this Steam Next Fest demo. It's not early access exactly, but here's this vertical slice that's a demo. But I just think it looks really good.
It's a
It's
very
supposed to be
polished
coming
game
out
for sure.
winter. Yeah,
Yep.
it's supposed to be coming out winter of this year, so it
Published
is
by
relatively close
Chucklefish.
to being out. Published by Chucklefish, who always seem to find games that look really good.
Mhm.
Not necessarily always play really good, but at least look really good. And this one, no different. It's solid. I played this on a Steam Deck, which I would say is probably not the way you want to play it. It does not have controller support. I think it actually shows some of the disadvantages or some of the limitations of the Steam Deck controller, because the tiny trackpad, there's places where you'd want to drag a card that is kind of in the right side of your hand, and you need to drag it to a place that's in like the top left part of the screen, and you just don't have enough real estate on that trackpad
Is the
to get it
touchscreen
there.
not?
No, not for this. This is like a
No,
demo
no.
that is PC only, that has absolutely not been deck verified, but is functional there for sure. It's
Yeah,
just
it works, and being a card-based deck builder kind of game, you can make it function. You have all the time in the world. There's no Twitch-based reaction stuff that you have to do, so it's okay. And yes, it's a demo. I'm sure they'll figure out something better once the game actually comes out. But in this demo, I think it more showed the limitations of the Steam Deck than it did show poorly on the game. But even still, I finished the demo. I had a good time. When we played it, Bobby, we didn't get to it, but there's kind of you get to a boss that is, I think you're just kind of meant to lose. It crushes you real quick, and but then I came up against that same boss on my second run. I only did 2 runs of it, but on the second run I picked the character who does the poison damage, the shroom damage.
yeah.
And I found some pretty broken build stuff where I just was applying so many shrooms that were doing poison damage all the time. I think I killed that boss in like 2 turns.
Damn.
And then it said like, oh, by the way, the demo's over now. But it looks like there's going to be a lot more stuff in that game. I think it's really cool. There's a lot of different mechanics, a lot of mechanics that feel unique compared to other roguelike deck builders that I've played. Some stuff that I don't remember seeing in something like Slay the Spire, not something that you'd see in Monster Train. Ways of recycling your own cards.
Yeah, you could like take them off and put them in your pocket.
Right, yeah, and you're supposed to do it too. Like there's mechanics where like this is the correct thing to do. It's not just like a get out of jail free card. It is hey, you're supposed to recycle these units and not just leave them out on the field the whole time, which was a little bit different from my experience with some of these deck builders. I think it's cool. Again, I think it looks really nice. It's mechanically, though, it's not my favorite. It is a little weird in some of its mechanics, and it's something I'm kind of not used to. We'll see. I don't know what price it's going to be when it comes out, but if it's cheap enough, I could see myself picking it up. But right now, I think it's a fun demo. I think people should check it out, and it's free with the Steam Next Fest, so definitely check it out. Maybe you'll jive with it a little bit more, but it's probably not something I'll end up picking up at the end of the day, even though I respect a lot of what it's doing.
Awesome. And as Chase called out, and I'll branch over to my little area here. Like we did this past Monday for Casual Monday a game showcase from the Steam Next Fest. If you missed out on that, go back and check it out. But we've got a handful of more demos that we will use to bookend that event, which runs from the 3rd to the 10th. So on Monday the 10th, we're going to just spend some more time playing through some of those demos that should still be available, and try and highlight some of those things that are in the hopper for that. So Steam Next Fest is something that we really appreciate here at the Casual Hour. Chase and I have been very consistent about checking out demos, either making quick looks at those demos, but recently we've kind of moved to more streaming them versus doing the quick look on a demo and waiting more for the final product there. All right, so here's what's going to happen for my segment. I was on the road, as you all know. I got sick and had a little time to play some stuff, so there's a few things I'm just going to quickly mention just to kind of get out of the way that I've been playing. Chat can ask questions. We can email in, or you two can ask me stuff on it. I know that you all talked about Slime Rancher 2, but I think I've gotten every single slime that you can get at this stage of early access. And
Yeah, you
I'm
did.
I'm at a point now where I just have too much money and too many chickens. And I'm now going to go back into that and start to do some hybrid breeds. So Slime Rancher 2, early access on PC and Xbox Game Preview. Very cool game. Also on Game Pass. Also on Game Pass, I checked out that Metal Hellsinger, and I got through like one of the
Sorry. Also, before we switch off, quick look coming in relatively soon
Tomorrow.
for tomorrow. So if you want to see more of Slime Rancher 2 in action, Bobby played it, and I got to watch and ask a bunch of questions about it. So if you want to see more, we have.
Oh yeah, we got more. Metal Hellsinger. This is the rhythm doom game. It's very polished for what it is. It's also, I think, very hard to play. And I thought maybe
now,
I would.
Bobby, when you say rhythm doom game, you have to be more specific, because there is also what is it, BPM, bullets per minute, that is also.
This is
Hey,
fucking more. This is like the most
rhythm
Doom ass Doom game that was never Doom.
You're fighting demons
Okay,
and stuff.
all right.
Like, I've played it. Take my word for it. This is fucking Doom.
I will. I mean, I've seen the trailer for bullets per minute. It also looks like fucking Doom.
You are playing as a voiceless demon that uses a skull to be your voice, and the whole thing is using either highlighting the reticule on screen or keeping with the actual beat or the off beat. And as you build the music up or build on beat, more elements of the song come into play, from drums, bass, guitar, and then if you are in the full state, you get a full vocal track that is just like the most fucking black metal-esque shit. It feels great when it's on, but it's hard to get it on. Worth checking out if you have Game Pass. I don't think it's relatively too expensive as well, but that is Metal Hellsinger. Very polished for what it is, but again, if you're not into rhythm games, buyer beware.
So bad at rhythm games.
But you don't have to always be on rhythm to have rhythm, and that is the beauty of Trombone Champ, a game that has also captivated me, where if you are looking for any of the music that has been available on public domain and you would like to take the best of Guitar Hero and the worst of instruments and play along things like not the Nutcracker, I don't know, Yankee Doodle, we'll call that one out. That's one that comes to mind.
Take Me Out to
Canada.
the Ball Game is on there.
Take Me Out to the Ball Game. This is a fever dream of a video game in the best way possible. It is dumb fun, and there is a lot to laugh at here. $15 might be a little high for what the game is, but it is something that if you had a group of friends together or you wanted to stream to like a Discord server or on Twitch, you could probably have a really good time with Trombone Champ. So check those out. We have a quick look that will be coming out in the next few weeks to that as well. So let me dig in a little bit further here with these games. And to do so, I'm going to ask an old friend that is capable of digging better than any of us, which is Shovel Knight. And that new Shovel Knight Dig game has launched on PC and Apple Arcade. And I originally played it on Apple Arcade. I even had to bust out the old mobile phone controller. I liked that game so much that I bought it for my Steam Deck and for PC. This might as well be called Spelunky Night Dig. It is absolutely a run-based version of that. It takes the best quirks and qualities of what you would expect from Shovel Knight and brings it into some aspects of a procedurally generated dungeon run that all the goodies and all the gems and all the treasure and loot from Treasure Trove that you've acquired in the previous games gets stolen by Drill Knight, who I believe is a new knight. And as you're progressing down through the different biomes, the very Mega Man-esque way that they've handled their knight enemy design, you get into these environments that, you know, like you might be, the first one's the mushroom biome and you're fighting Shroom Knight. If you beat him 2 times, that unlocks like a steelworks area where there's a different knight. It's challenging, it's hard, But the things that you would
Really
expect,
fucking hard.
it's really hard. But all the things you would expect from a game like this, there's shops, there's paths you can unlock. So once you get to a point in the game where you get to these new areas, you can unlock with a currency a fast travel that costs like 400 coins to start there. And you make money pretty easily at that point. So once you unlock those, you get into a good flow state. I think it's a really cool concept and a really good area and genre for Shovel Knight to go into. I'm excited to see what Yacht Club does outside of Shovel Knight, but this has been a really cool version of that character that we've known and loved over the last several years. So it plays like a dream on the Steam Deck, works really well. I mean, it honestly, playing with the controller on mobile, on Apple Arcade, it was fine. I did not like this on touch controls, as you probably can imagine.
Yeah. And I do want to say, I know you don't recognize it as a legitimate console, but it is also on the Switch.
Oh,
So
too bad.
if you want to play it there.
What's the Switch?
And then also, we are going to get to see what Yacht Club does outside of Shovel Knight here relatively soon, because they've shown off Mina the Hollower.
Oh yeah,
and that is something. I think that does that come out next year?
I think it is next year.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But yeah,
and if I'm not mistaken, they had called Shovel Knight Dig. Originally, it was being billed as a sequel to Shovel Knight, but it is absolutely not that. I mean, maybe a spiritual sequel.
Yeah, it's its own thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
A game that Chase had brought to my attention that we covered in our preview from last month is a game called Railgrade, also on the Switch on PC, that came out at the end of September. Everything about this game looked like it should click and be on rails for me, and these trains have gone off the rails. It is not something that I have found myself just not enjoying when I play it. And
do you think you've changed, or do you think the rail based factory manufacturing games have changed?
It's not me who's out of touch, Chase. It's the rail based factory games that are.
Robbie's just waiting for Choo Choo Charles to come out. That's the train game.
Here's the thing that, like, I thought I was going to be in a situation where it's like, hey, you've got all these resources that are in this biome. You can create a network of tracks to start to bring them over here and like automate, like, hey, you need oil and water to produce this. And on one hand, the game does that. Where I think it's frustrating for me is it feels more like a puzzle game, and it's the way that's presenting this. So it's a story-based game where you go to an area and it's like, okay, this is where you're going to bring water and oil together. And there's clearly one way to do this. There might be a few ways that you can design your track, but ultimately, like, you are just doing a task that they've kind of determined for it to be. And it's just a series of those. Like, you build out your tracks and then you go to the next overworld stop and do the same shit. It does not feel like I am automating and building this rail system as much as I'm just going in and figuring, like, how can I optimize this workflow to be producing the most things here? And they throw some curveballs in, like, hey, this factory, you can boost your production if you started to store water tanks here. So then it's like, well, I got a water plant, but I don't have a track going here. So then you need to figure out how to make that happen. I just don't think it's what I want in one of these games. And there's too many of them out there now that I could spend more time just like kind of freewheeling in my factory on how I'd want that to function, flow, and be automated. So it is on Switch. It is on Epic. It's $20. It's an Unreal Engine game. It runs really well mechanically and it looks good. It's just not something that I'm really enjoying my time with, and probably will not put much more time into, unfortunately. Yeah, it is. Last two things here around the corner. Grounded came to 1.0. We have a quick look up for that. We're going to be streaming that game. I'm just here to say I really like Grounded. It is going to be a game we talk about later on in the year. And I think that Obsidian has really built something special that kind of exceeded those initial hot takes I had when it was in early access. The final product feels very realized, and they've built a fantastic world that I've just thoroughly enjoyed being in, even when it gets pretty scary. So Grounded's very good.
It is. It's a lot of fun. And I really love that you can have a shared world
Mm-hmm.
where the person that created it or hosted it doesn't have to be online. It's accessible by all the players at any time. So if you want to go in and do some stuff off hours, you can totally load up your save and do that.
It's
It's
that
a really really
that
cool
was the
game.
issue. That was the issue with something like Valheim, right? Is that the
we had to
host
pay
of
for a
the
server.
world.
We ended up having to
Okay.
like have an extra cost where this one, whoever built the world, you can choose to make it a shared world, and then you can go to your Xbox friends list and add people into that, and like, hey, you have permission to have this stored. And it's just a really clean and easy way to drop it and drop out. Like it's maybe one of the best ways I've seen that done so far.
Nice. Yeah.
Last game I'll call out here. It's one that we also covered in the preview, and that is the Outbound Ghost. I've been putting probably like 2 to 3 hours into this. This is a game that you could tell is a love letter to the earlier Paper Mario games. You can tell also that it does not have maybe the budget that Nintendo does to make a Paper Mario, but the heart is there for it. Mechanically, it performs pretty well. I think it's a little more challenging than what I was expecting from like a Paper Mario-esque game. Like some of those battles, especially early on, go a little bit longer and require a bit more finesse. And it's dense. There's a big crafting. When I say crafting, I don't mean that in the sense of like Grounded, but you get materials in the game that you can craft abilities that you can then equip on your characters. And you'll find it's either a this or that at most of the save points in the game. It's like, hey, you found 2 books. This book has these 3 abilities in it. This book has these 2 abilities in it, and they're varying just enough. And it's like, okay, you can pick one book, and then you have those recipes to then go and build those abilities and equip them on your Figment. So there's people in your party. So far, they haven't been actively fighting, but you acquire new Figments that could be things like regret or other emotions from your prior life that each have their own type of ability. So there's another one that you get that is more focused on like relationships, and that Figment's all about healing and buffing your team, where there's others that might be more magic focused, and there's one that might be more of a bruiser. And it is turn-based combat. There are elemental things that you can bring into it. So far, the writing has been cheeky in a good way. The art style I like quite a bit. This is a passion project. I'll just call it out. The developer, solo dev for several years, has been working on this, put a lot of their time, energy, effort, and love in, and I think they've done a great job with it. Chase, I think you'll like it. I do think you'll like it.
I'm sure I will. It's certainly on my list. I mean, anytime a game says, "Oh, we're trying to do the original Paper Mario," I'm way into it. I've had it downloaded forever, but that Bug Fables game I know I've talked about a couple times on the show, that's supposed to be like, hey, we also made a Paper Mario, and now this is also on the list. I mean, I bought it and downloaded it on my Steam Deck. Yeah, once I find this magical time, this magical sort of free time, I definitely plan to try it out.
I think this is on quite a few things. I am playing this on PC, and I have played it on my Steam Deck primarily, and that feels like a really great place to check it out. I know it's on the Switch. I think it'd be fine there as well. It feels pretty good as a handheld game, and I think you should all check it out. So that's the Outbound Ghost. That's a lot of stuff for me. Apologies on the lengthy update, but it's been a few weeks. A lot of cool video games right now, and even more to come. Johnny,
what a time to be playing video games.
Are you able
Bobby.
to play video games right now?
Yeah, what a time to be in queues and getting kicked out of.
Are you accusing Johnny of not being able to play a game?
I think he's watching games being played.
I don't know. He seems like he might be over them.
Yeah, I think he's over watching playing games.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the perfect bit.
That's the bit. That's the joke.
That's the tweet.
Yeah. So Overwatch 2 came out, and
It's
in a way, in a manner of speaking.
Mhm.
They pushed an update out to Overwatch that they say is Overwatch 2, and
Okay.
it's it's so funny that it's just
Is
more
it that
it's
is
just
it that it's
Overwatch.
so popular it's overwhelming the servers, or is it
There's
Yeah,
a
I
there's a
mean
something's
tax too.
actually fucked back there?
There's a tax.
there's been denial of service attacks yesterday and today.
Sure, sure.
And I think that
They
so
they
the first couple days after a big multiplayer launch are
They're
always,
always bad. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
like the
Destiny
cost
is
of,
always fucked day one.
exactly, the cost of scaling up to meet that initial demand that is going to drop off
Mhm.
severely after the first week
yeah.
is from what I
In,
have heard
in,
not
in
worth
fact,
a financial
I'm sure.
investment.
Yeah,
So
and I'm sure it's I'm sure there's some scales going on somewhere, but
yeah,
you remember like when the Wii first came out and people were
mhm.
accusing Nintendo of intentionally like saying intentionally making fewer units so they could keep saying,
Yeah,
"Oh, we're
artificial
selling out. It's so
scarcity.
popular." Yeah, I wonder if
The
there's
the
some
Nintendo Wii
few
was the
layers.
original NFT.
There
But
you
they
go.
they
Yeah.
they
Uh huh.
also have the thing that's impacting some people, and like there's a bigger discussion. And
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
want to touch on every
the
layer of this
the,
because it.
the one thing I just want to call out to let you get onto it is there's been a discussion, and maybe you have if you have something to talk about here, I'll let you run with it. But there's been some discussion around the classist approach that they're taking to the requirements of an active on contract phone number.
So they have, from what I understand, from what I saw something on Twitter earlier, they are going to address that because
Okay.
it was not all prepaid plans that it was affecting. It was certain ones, like I
Yeah.
saw people saying like I'm on Cricket, I'm on the one through Walmart, which is a
That was
lot
one
of
of the other
people.
reasons that people couldn't play
Mhm.
outside
Is
of
yes,
the attacks. That's the only reason I brought it
yeah,
up there. So I'll
is
let you
as an
get back to talking about the
yeah,
game.
in an effort to combat cheating and things like that, they are now enforcing this two-factor authentication for your BattleNet account. The issue being, as Bobby said, like not everybody has like a plan with Verizon or AT&T, so it is locking some people out of the game, like before they even had the chance to install it. And it also, yeah, it's been
Those are people who did not have to do that for Overwatch that were trying
correct.
to get back to some of the shit that they spent
Yes,
money and time on that now they're being
they're locked
essentially
out of the
like
game.
locked out
Yeah.
of. So some
Yeah. And
frustrations.
don't change your gamer tag or whatever because that
Yeah,
seems to be an issue as well, right, Johnny?
that is my working theory. So I played a bunch of Overwatch the first couple years that it was out. It was, I don't remember exactly where it was at in my top 10 the year it came out, but it was definitely in there. I think it
It was
was
damn
towards
near
the
your
upper half.
top. Yeah.
Uh, I love that game. I played a bunch of it, and then I just kind of fell off and moved on to other things, and I check in with it periodically. But I had like a bunch of skins that I loved, sprays, things like that, and from I was unsure at first, like if I missed the window to do the merge, and they said I saw stuff online saying no, you still can. Uh, so the first place I played it was PS5, which is not.
Do you get to do the merge when you log in? Is that where that happens?
It's what's supposed to happen, I think.
Okay.
And also, I checked my BattleNet account, and my PlayStation and my Xbox account were both linked to my account already. But it sounds like it's its own thing. Like you get a prompt with a QR code that you scan, and
Got it.
it says, "Yeah, this is a one-time merge." And anyway, so I was like, "Okay, well, I'll download it on Xbox." I did that. I got into the game. I never got that prompt. Uh, and there is a merge accounts menu
Hmm.
thing in the main menu that just beeps when I try
When
to
you click on it?
activate. Yeah, it
Oh,
just makes like a weird sound effect. And I filed a ticket with BattleNet with Blizzard. I mean, and this is such a common thing that like there's a whole forum post
sure.
just for it from them. So I'm hoping eventually it gets sorted out. Because I had
I think
a
I
lot of
forgot how popular this game is.
yeah, it's huge. And
It's huge enough to have like its own esports league.
yeah,
That's pretty
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
that I've never really paid attention to. I very rarely ever played in the ranked playlist. But anyway, so I have it installed on my PC, on my PS5, and my Xbox, and I have played it on my Xbox One X and my PlayStation 5. I tried playing on PC, and I got through the queue. I made it to the login screen where it asks you to sign into BattleNet, and it never sent a push to the app for me. It said no login attempts made, and then once it kicked me back, and then I think the app thought so they were just, you know, there's millions of people, like thousands, trying to log in at the same time. Um, so despite all that, despite mostly sitting at this the opening screen that you get to, waiting in queues, getting through the queue, then I'm able to connect to the server, getting kicked back into it. I have had probably 2 hours of time actually playing the game, and it's a lot of fun. It is Overwatch. Like it feels like all the characters that I've played as that were in the first game feel like themselves. Since I didn't have all my data transferred over, I started the way any new Overwatch 2 player would, where not all of the heroes are unlocked for you from the jump. Uh, I think if you purchase the battle pass, it unlocks them, or after you play so many matches, it like unlocks a new character every couple. So I finally unlocked Junkrat, who is one of my favorites.
Hell yeah.
I got him after playing 12 matches, and it's 5v5 now instead of 6v6. In ranked, there's only one tank allowed instead of two, and it feels a lot faster.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, do you feel a difference when it's
Yeah,
two fewer players in a
it
match?
feels a lot faster, but not in a way that I think is detrimental to the experience. Like it has been a number of years since I've played Overwatch. Like I say, at least a couple. So I
Yeah.
can't speak to what like the state of the meta was like when those
Yeah,
Overwatch servers shut
if
off for the final time.
if we
Um,
do a quick look of this game, I'd love to get our friend of the show, Pierce Shane, on here because I know he's been sticking with Overwatch, since the beginning. I'm pretty sure
yeah,
he's been playing all this time. So
definitely.
We
Yeah,
were
I
hearing
can
maybe
only
gonna
his
speak.
thoughts on how different this is. Yeah.
do it this weekend, but I don't know if that'll work out.
Yeah, we'll have to see if the servers are still on fire. So yeah, there's still like most of the maps that I played on are ones that I recognize from Overwatch 1. You have the push mode, you have the zone like capturing zones, and it's a lot of the same characters that I grew to know and
Is
love.
this new Overwatch or more Overwatch?
It's it's more. Like they should have
Yeah.
called it like I think what they were probably originally going for would have been worthy of being called Overwatch 2. But
But they scaled that back,
man,
right?
it's the same, huh?
They scaled that back.
Yeah, like the PVE stuff isn't there. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
think.
looking that up right
Is
now.
that's coming though, isn't it?
I believe so.
Okay.
And like I went into my already purchased games and just went to where Overwatch would have been, and it was Overwatch 2. So it's using the same,
Huh.
not same
Mhm.
executable, but it's just
Yeah.
it's I have really weird feelings about it. Just
It's
because
going to be really weird for something like from a game preservation perspective as well. Like
yeah, because
Overwatch
the
1
first
is
game is just
gone.
gone.
It's done.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, and also that game has changed so much over
yeah,
time. It's the same thing with Destiny. Destiny is so different from what it was when it first came out. Like what does that mean for preservation? But yeah, like there is no such thing as Overwatch anymore. It is all Overwatch 2.
yeah, and um, so I think despite it being so frustrating, getting to the point where I can actually play the game, that all I want to do right now is try and get in and play more Overwatch speaks to like the quality of it. Like once you actually get in there and start experiencing it, and I know that people are as they are want to do when you're going from a paid premium product to a free to play one. The monetization is going to be different, and
Sure.
the time it takes to unlock legendary skins and all that stuff is going to take longer unless you're willing to pay for them. You know, it's the same model that like Epic is using and really, you know, popularized. But so I don't know. Like it's part of me is like, well, this is just how video games are right now. You know, they weren't going to put out another paid hero shooter in today's, you know, video game climate. Probably not anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they would have sold relatively well. It's fucking Overwatch, but
yeah, but
in terms of the way they're kind of doing this transition from everybody who had Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2, yeah, I bet that's really weird. I wonder like what happens if I stick my disc of Overwatch into a console.
I saw a picture on the Overwatch subreddit today of someone using their Overwatch disc as a coaster.
Chase, you should do that.
Yeah.
You should do that and just let us
I'm
know
curious
what happens.
Sure.
It'll probably say the servers are not reachable.
Probably. Let me make sure.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
Johnny, I have one.
You guys have
I have-
questions?
I have a very important question before we move on to your next game.
Yeah.
How are the servers for Gundam Evolution? Stable?
They work just fine.
Wow, great.
I didn't-
sounds like the best Overwatch on the market these days.
You know, for a certain person, maybe it wasn't quite my tempo, despite it feeling cool to play as a Gundam.
Have you been playing
there
it,
you go.
Chase?
No, I played a bit of the beta and it's not Overwatch is not my style of game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Even
obviously I
mechs
have the disc,
cannot
you just
save
saw it,
Chase to a hero shooter.
Yeah. So
yeah, well, there's just so many. If I want to play a Gundam game, there's a bunch of Gundam games that are way more
Sure.
tempo. I still have a whole G generation game that I haven't even started yet because I'm waiting to watch more of the different animes before I can really understand it.
His Gundam cup runneth over.
We're gonna probably
really
do some stuff with Overwatch. Original member, always a heart and a seat here at the Casual Art. P Brown, the Aeon, is a huge Overwatch fan. We tried to play this the other night with him, so maybe we'll get into some stream shenanigans one night where we get some of our friends from the community in here and the game's a bit more
simmer down. I feel positively enough about it that like when I get paid on Friday, I'm gonna buy the battle pass because I'm gonna be playing more.
He's back, baby.
It's hitting me, and it's like an itch I didn't know I had, and it's scratching it really well when I can get into the game.
Clearly, you're looking for anything you can play right now, Johnny, based off of what you've got.
Yeah,
it's an itching and scratching show. That's what I hear.
The other game I played a little bit of a lot of different games that I've talked about before.
This is one of my favorite things Johnny does is that this is what I call Johnny aimlessly wandering through the desert, where he has
it's grazing.
He cannot find comfort and permanence in any game.
I also like that it's so amorphous, but it's believable. Like he doesn't have to tell us what any of these games are, and he probably hasn't been playing any games whatsoever. But he can just say, "Oh, guys, I've been playing a lot of games." It's very Trump-like, where it's like a lot of people are saying, "I've been playing a lot of video games." I can't tell you any of these individual games.
Do you want me to go
playing
off
a
the
lot
list?
of video games?
Okay. I've been playing Slime Rancher 2. I've played Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I played Hades last night. I played about 25 minutes of Hades because I saw one of my friends was playing Hades. Like, fuck, Hades is fucking awesome. Let's play some Hades.
And I was so impressionable.
I was in the middle of a run. So, like, it's been months since I played Hades. And it was right before the fight with Lerny. And I was like, fuck, I'm so rusty. And I was using the fists, which I never know.
Who is Lerny?
Yeah, who's Lerny?
The bone serpent.
Is that what that's called?
That's what Zacharias names him.
Lerny?
Okay.
Lerny.
Well, you just called him Zacharias, so I don't know if I'm gonna trust your pronunciation.
Sorry, I'm anyway. I've been playing a bunch of random shit, and
He's gone to the buffet of video games, folks.
I did. I do this thing where I get like Bobby said.
Yeah.
Where I probably should just like take a break from games, and, like read a book or something, because that's what it is. Like I can't find something that sustains me for an extended period of time.
I'd love to read a book.
Wasteland 3 I found real cheap online. That was a game that I played once with Bobby co-op, and I was like, this seems really cool. The writing seems great. The combat seems like a lot of fun.
So good. It's so good.
And it's one of those games that I'm like, I need to play Wasteland 3. I need to play Wasteland, and I just never did. And then I decided to buy it, and I played it for around a couple hours now. And I'm the first thing I'm looking to do. I'm not super far. I made it to the first settlement that you get to. I'm heading to see the Gippers because I need to see.
That was a fever dream, man. That whole fucking compound.
This cult that worships Ronald Reagan.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I'm so excited. I'm gonna keep playing it. I'm gonna take my deck with me when we go to Nashville, and also I'm gonna be laid up next weekend. Having a little medical procedure done where I'll be unable to leave the couch for a few days. So
he's getting a Brazilian butt lift, folks. It's going to be wonderful.
Yes. Check out my OnlyFans.
It's just Johnny and his new butt walking through ground beef.
Look, I'm ready to talk about what's coming up next. I think Wasteland 3 is...
Oh, are you looking for a new smorgasbord of games to graze on?
Yeah. Johnny's looking ahead by playing Wasteland 3.
Exactly.
Well done, Johnny.
Just with the
futurist.
It is in the future. That game seems great.
It's really good. It's really good.
I'm glad I picked it up despite the timing being
unorthodox. We can't look ahead before we look behind, right, Chase? Is that how this works?
Right.
That's true. You know, I still have had a copy of Wasteland 3 on my PS4 for a really long time.
It's very good.
I should just play it. I mean, I also have had, if I want to play like a turn-based tactical game, I also have had the game I will continue to forget the name of every time. The one with the duck and the pig
Eden?
and the animals.
Something Eden?
Mutant Year Zero.
Mutant Year Zero. Thank you. I will never remember
that game is all right.
that game.
Yeah.
I just need to play it. I just need to set aside some time. But yes, as Bobby was trying to transition, we're going to talk about the month of October. But before we do that, we of course need to wrap up the month of September and talk about the picks that we made at the end of that month and see if they've still held up throughout now. So let's see what we got here for September. My picks were Ooblets, a game that Bobby got me really excited for, and then I bought, and then I watched Bobby do the quick look, and I went, I don't know if I actually want to play this game.
Says the guy that spent 600 plus hours on Animal Crossing, but hey, here we are.
Yeah, well, it's the farming. It's the farming, man. It's the crafting.
Yeah, because you don't do any of that stuff in Animal Crossing.
I don't like the crafting in Animal Crossing.
That's the one.
And the farming didn't show up until like half a year later. They didn't start with the farming. Yeah, I don't know. I still should try Ooblets. I bet it's very, very charming, and I bet I would probably be taken with it if I got into it. But I'm also playing other monster raising games, like my other pick for the month of September, which was Temtem, which I've been having an okay time with. Bobby and I played that on a casual Monday. We did a quick look on it. I've talked about that game before on the podcast. I wish that, or I feel like everything's a little too evenly matched right now. Bobby does say that changes eventually in the game, and there will be times where you are having the super effective move and it knocks things out in one hit. But right now, it feels like I do 50% damage to them, they do 50% damage to me, and we just kind of keep going back and forth.
Get good, man.
Yeah.
Get good.
Yeah, okay, sure. That's fine. I also had the Diofield Chronicle. You know what? I want to actually go back and play more of that demo. That demo I was having a really good time with, the bit that I played.
The whole
The
thing's
full
out
game
now,
is
though,
out.
right?
The whole thing is out. You can absolutely go and
Yes.
pick that up. I think there's some cool things in that, but I would like to play more of that before I say whether that was a success or a failure. And then I had the Outbound Ghost, a game that I've purchased and haven't played, but Bobby talked about that earlier, and it seems pretty cool. Bobby, you had Ooblets,
Yep.
which we've talked about. You definitely took to it a lot more, and I think your wife has taken to it even more than you, correct?
Yeah, she loves it. She's playing a lot of it.
Yeah, big time Ooblets fans over in the Peas house.
Oh yeah.
You also had Railbound, which
Sarah's
we
playing
played
that too.
How far are you in Railbound? How are you
I'm
feeling
up to
about that
the
game?
third area.
Okay, I think I'm in a similar area. I've gotten to the point where it just feels hard and maybe less fun now. Golf Peaks was a game I felt like I could have fun as I was bashing my head against it, and Railbound I'm not having as much fun as I bash my head against it. It feels good like when I can start to parse things out, but it has a couple of mechanics that I feel are just the mental gymnastics I'm doing to try to figure out, okay, wait, I can actually make this train car spin on this track for a while before I make it do something else. It's just not clicking with me as much, and that makes me really sad because I like the visual design, I like the developer a lot. But you've been feeling pretty good about it. Are you having a better time than I am?
I'm just not as tough of a critic as you are, but yes, I'm having a good time.
Sure. Yeah, that's what I've always said. Bobby Pease is an easy 4 stars.
Easy 4 stars.
You had Temtem as well. How are you
Did
feeling about Temtem?
fucking love it.
Did you finish Temtem?
I'm very, very, very close. I was hoping to finish it on my flight out to Canada, but it is an online only game. That became problematic.
Sure.
My hotel did not have the best internet, so I was just playing some more stuff that I could do offline. And there was a smattering of things that kind of came out near the end of September that we're going to get to here that I was checking out. Slime Rancher, Grounded, etc. But I'm very close.
Yeah.
I have all the islands unlocked. Fast travel. I'm at basically the final boss of the story, and then I can go in and start playing the real game. Apparently,
Nice. Yeah, Slime Rancher 2, we talked about that earlier. Go watch the quick look. It's either out tomorrow if you're watching us right now, or it's already out if you're listening to the archive. Grounded, you just mentioned and talked a bit about. You are enjoying that quite a bit. Moonbreaker, you want to tell us a little bit more about Moonbreaker? I know we've done like a casual hour or a casual Monday stream
of just
you
the
doing some
painting. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a quick look going up for this in the next few weeks as well. This is that tabletop turn-based game from the developers that brought you Subnautica. It's incredibly detailed, very well done. Seems like a lot of opportunity to build off of some of these characters, and they've done a really cool element of collecting and customization where you get to unlock these characters and pieces and then go in and paint them. And it's a very, very ambitious but seemingly well realized concept for this game. PvP, PvE, whatever you prefer to do. Really, really cool. We're gonna play it on stream for sure. We were gonna play it this week, but we forgot about the Next Fest, or at least I forgot about the Next Fest. And we will definitely be playing that on stream sometime in the near future.
Nice. And then you had Railgrade, which we talked about, and that sounds like kind of the only clunker for you.
Yeah, I would say take that off and put Outbound Ghost there, and that's a very solid month for me.
Yeah. It seems like you had a lot of good stuff come out this month.
I did.
I mean, a lot of stuff you were very eagerly anticipating, like Ooblets and Temtem. I mean, games you've played and been playing in early access, but now that they got their 1.0s, Grounded also goes in there, obviously.
Oh yeah, huge games.
You were feasting.
I'm
absolutely feasting this month. And Johnny, you had a number of things that we also had. Slime Rancher 2, which you talked about last week. It seems like you're liking quite a bit. Ooblets. How are you feeling about Ooblets? I don't think I've heard you talk about it.
I haven't played very much of it.
Attaboy. Did you play any of Moonbreaker?
He's been playing Wasteland 3. Come on, Chase.
Yeah, that's true. You're good point. Good point. He's playing 2 different Assassin's Creed games. He doesn't have time to play Moonbreaker.
I know.
I mean, let me reference that. I have really enjoyed the 2-3 hours I spent with Ooblets, I like that game a whole lot. I regret I have not played more of it. I forget it's
Okay.
on my Steam Deck because it's in the Heroic Games launcher, which is where my Epic games are.
Right.
Moonbreaker, I played one round of, and it seemed cool. But that's as much as I've played with it.
And
And
Dio
then
Field is the last one you had as well. Did you play any Dio Field?
Dios míos, man.
played a little bit of the demo, and
Yeah.
it's like, okay, this
Yeah,
seems okay. I didn't realize
I would definitely.
how mixed the reviews were for that game. My goodness, I just looked at this.
Is it really? I
It said
mean,
a
I
46.
watched. Ooh, ouch! I mean, I watched the Giant Bomb Quick Look. I know we don't love talking about other outlets here, especially ones that have completely gone downhill for a while now. But um, but it seemed like Jan was just talking about like he really liked the gameplay of it, but he didn't care about the story at all. And I found that interesting because I thought the story was okay. Again, I only played like the very first mission and change.
I thought they only talked about Silent Hill over there.
One person only talks about Silent Hill.
Got it.
Another person only talks about Metal Gear, and then everybody else kind of talks about whatever they want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, interesting though that it's mixed. I mean, mechanically it seems like it was really really solid. So that's kind of surprising to me. Anyway, let's continue moving on. Now we'll talk about October, and let's talk about some free games that you can get. We all like talking about free games here. And we'll start with PlayStation Plus, which I think is having a pretty solid month.
Yeah.
If you want a PS4 and a PS5 game, both versions are out. Hot Wheels Unleashed. Johnny, you, I believe, are the one who played some Hot Wheels Unleashed.
That's
a game that people should try, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially for free.
Yeah, it's a fun little arcade racer, and the Hot Wheels get all dinged up, and their paint gets damaged and stuff during the race. It's a very fun little arcade racer.
Nice. And then I don't remember if it was last month or 2 months ago, but Need for Speed Heat also came to PlayStation Plus. I mean, I know it's not anime like the next Need for Speed apparently is going to be, but yeah, getting some racing games for free here on the PlayStation
Always
recently.
Good.
And then as for just PS4 versions, of course, they'll also play on your PS5. Injustice 2 and Super Hot, which is one of the most innovative shooters I've played in years. I believe I contractually have to say that.
You do.
Yeah, solid. I would say solid month for PlayStation Plus.
Yeah,
I know. I mean, it's no Game Pass, and we'll talk about Game Pass here in a bit. But I think PlayStation Plus is still giving us some pretty solid games every month, which is not something I can say about Xbox games with Gold. One, this is the first month that they have taken away Xbox 360 titles, so you can't go and play any of those. Or, I mean, whatever you have, you can still play, obviously, but you're not getting more free Xbox 360 titles
or original,
I guess, or original Xbox titles as well. So it's only Xbox Series titles or Xbox One titles.
Damn, I was really holding out for Brute Force.
But... I like Brute. Okay, I
like Brute Force.
So okay, I shouldn't say that so loudly.
I was only half a
but I enjoyed some Brute Force back in the day. Anyway, they have Windbound, which Bobby, I think that's your favorite game of all time, right? You loved Windbound.
I did not like Windbound. I thought I would like Windbound.
You didn't like Windbound,
but I did not.
The Johnny effect.
Like Windbound,
and then
you'd like it, and then you met it, and you're like, this guy's a piece of shit.
I hate this piece of shit.
And then also Bomber Crew Deluxe Edition, which
the Deluxe Edition.
Hell yeah! We spared no expense.
It's fine. I don't think it's gonna knock your socks off.
Still pick this one out personally.
This is
no.
Now let's take a look at one from my private collection. Here is Bomber Crew Deluxe.
To be fair, I don't really know anything about Bomber Crew Deluxe. I'm not here to throw a bunch of shade, but I think by virtue of me not knowing what this is, maybe speaks a little bit to the presence of such a game. Anyway, let's move on. Bobby, what do you got on the Game Pass, which I'm sure is a lot more than
There
what we're getting
is
out
a
of
lot
physical.
You
on
want to know
Game
what
Pass.
this is? This is like in American Psycho when they're showing their business cards.
Let's see Paul Allen's Game
Let's see
Pass.
Paul Allen's card.
It says Bomber Crew Deluxe. God damn it. Chivalry 2, a game that I struggled to get into, but Johnny fell in love with. I'm going to revisit on, it's out October 4th. That is on Game Pass. Medieval Dynasty is hitting the Series X on the 6th of October. The Walking Dead, the complete first season, which actually, I'm sorry, both Walking Dead season 1 and 2 are coming to PC Game Pass. Costume Quest is going to be there on October 11th.
I'm shocked that wasn't already on there. Like, it's a Double Fine game. Shouldn't it already be on Game Pass?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense that
Well,
it's October.
Johnny,
everyone should play Costume Quest in October.
I mean, there
it's
are,
just
like,
how it should be done.
There are some Bethesda games that aren't on
Well, Johnny,
there
check
yet,
and see if the
right?
PC version of that's on there right now. It might just be the cloud and console version coming on the 11th. Is it Evil?
It's not here.
I bet it's Evil.
Evil is coming to,
but it's written like VILLE, like it's like a Ville.
Evil.
Edwardsville.
Yeah, that's what we call it here.
October 11th, a game that is a huge win for Game Pass. Dyson Sphere program is hitting PC Game Pass on October 13th, and the thing that makes me hate all of this.
Happy birthday, Chase!
Happy birthday, Chase!
Scorn on your fucking birthday.
Hey, you'll have a PC ready to play this.
No, not there. No, we will not.
Following week.
Yeah, following week.
Right. Yeah. I'm not going to play here. Little secret for everybody out there. I ain't going to be playing Scorn on this PC. That's for goddamn sure.
I ain't playing Scorn ever.
Yeah, that thing looks fucking gross.
It looks like the inside of a zit. It's like, hey, what would a hemorrhoid look like? Let me show it to you.
No, thank you. Some people are gonna have a real good time with that, and I ain't that person.
No, it's like looking at a fucking ruptured pus sack while somebody's.
We're gonna talk about Scorn in the upcoming games, and we'll have a trailer.
Do we
there
have
people
to?
can see for themselves.
It's gonna be the most popular game that the people on the popping subreddit have ever played.
A game that I'm very curious about, but never played the first one. A Plague Tale Requiem comes out on the 18th. More to come on that, and then Persona 5 Royal jumps from Sony to Microsoft on the 21st.
What a get, man! That's awesome.
Jumps.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. No longer a Sony property. Persona.
Nope.
All right, let's get into some.
If you want your Switch to sound like a Gonk droid, you can load it up on there. I'm assuming too at the same time, but Game Pass gets it.
Yeah. All right.
Let's get into the trailers
releases for October. We mentioned before we've got Overwatch 2 that came out for PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Sounds like it's going great. Everybody's having a great time with it, and no problems whatsoever.
Working great.
That's what else do you want me to say? Let's move on to October 6th, which we're getting Nier Automata, the End of Yorha edition, coming to the Nintendo Switch. Nice Switch port there.
I hear that it is actually a pretty solid port from what I've been reading.
That is also what I'm hearing. Which I guess that kind of makes sense. I mean, Platinum has been making Bayonetta games for Nintendo exclusively these days, so they know the hardware. I bet they could port Automata relatively well. Yeah. I think I really liked that game when it first came out, and I think I like it less the more time passes. But
is that because other people liked it, or is it because?
No, I think just looking back on that, it's I don't know. It's okay. It's not my type of game, and I think it's maybe a little bit more up its own ass than it needs to be. I mean, it's very anime, and anime also very up its own ass. Anyway, let's move on. Speaking of Switch ports, on October 7th, No Man's Sky comes to the Switch. I know
I
you
don't-
two have enjoyed a No Man's
That's
Sky
really
a time
cool.
or two in your day. Um, Bobby, are you about to say, like, I don't know how that's going to perform on a Switch?
I
Because
like
I don't know
I
how that's going to perform on a
yeah, I
Switch.
legitimately, like, all joking aside, like all my little shticks and pokes and prods at the Switch. I have a
Yeah.
Switch right over here. I own a Switch. If everybody, I am genuinely like, how is this functioning on the Switch? I don't, and it's not even. I thought this was for sure going to be a cloud version of the game. It's not.
Yeah, I was
Not-
wondering that too. That's very interesting.
I
Yeah.
will not buy it there, but I am very curious to see how it is received and how well it
Is
plays.
is No Man's Sky at this point an always online game, or is there an offline mode to it?
You can play offline.
Yeah, you can play offline.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I everybody that has the ability to check out No Man's Sky deserves to check out No Man's Sky. I would argue that there's probably few studios that have performed the 180 that this team has, and to have it on everything now, from Game Pass to Switch to PC, PlayStation, it's really impressive, and it has crossplay. So you
Yeah.
should be able to play on your Switch with folks that are on PC even, and have a hell of a time there with it. And they keep adding amazing updates to it. So check this out for sure.
I should I say this every time we talk about No Man's Sky. I feel like that's a game I should give another chance to. I played it when it first came out. Yes, it had its issues, but I still had a relatively decent time, and then I just stopped playing it. And I've watched streams of you guys playing it. I've heard so many good things about it. I know they've done this 180 at this point. I was looking to see if I have a did I get a physical copy of that? Felt like
I
did, but
think that
maybe I
this is
didn't.
just like, at the time that it came out, I think it was only
Yeah.
digital.
Yeah, that can be. Anyway, yeah, this is not the way I want to play it either. I would not play it on a Switch, but I already own this on PlayStation, so I feel like that's something I should just try out and see what it's like. At the end of that trailer, though, it looks like it has everything that they've
Everything.
like it's complete with all the stuff.
Well,
All
the
the
thing
updates.
is that they've never charged for any of those updates. So I think they're just
Sure.
highlighting here that, like, hey, we've got a complete package available, like all
I
these
see.
updates. And so
So much stuff for you to.
anytime
consume.
there's a future update, like the Switch should, unless they just fundamentally change the physicality of the game, get that alongside
Yeah.
with the other platforms.
Okay. Very nice.
Super
We
exciting.
can run through these next couple relatively quickly. On the 11th, we were talking about games being ported to the Switch. Now we're getting a game ported from the Switch to everything else. No More Heroes 3 coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. This game came out last year on Nintendo Switch, but now is coming to everywhere else. Travis Touchdown.
Have
he's
you played
back.
these games?
Not once, not ever. Probably not what I'm into.
Yeah.
Little you know, I like weird stuff. This is a little more weird than I'm
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. For sure.
That's
Some
very
people really swear by him, but yeah. Then you know what, in addition to Scorn, happy birthday to me, October 14th. We're getting the real anime here. Dragon Ball The Breakers coming to PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
This is
God, this game
What
looks
is this?
fucking terrible. This is a. You remember that Friday the 13th game
Yeah.
that had you like Jason against the kids,
Mhm.
or like the Evolution game that was or Evolve, the one where somebody was the monster and everybody else played as the things. That's what this game is, except one person is Frieza or one person is Cell. I think those are the two. They might be adding more later, but I know Frieza is definitely one of them. Like one person plays as one of the big bosses, and everybody else plays as generic fucking characters, like not even the Dragon Ball characters. But
What
it's
the-
also no, Johnny. It gets so much worse. It's also a fucking gotcha in that
What?
you are able to like open packs to get like bonuses and abilities that let you like transform into Goku for a little bit to do like a special move or something, and then go back to being your dumbass generic character. This looks fucking terrible. I hate this so much.
who asked for
So
this?
much. Nobody asked for this.
Dude, they-
0 people asked for this. This is a
They've
fucking
made-
disgrace.
Yeah, they've made Dragon Ball shovelware for years.
Hey, more like Dragon Ball Zero, right?
Oh,
Nice. Well done. Well done.
Take
yeah,
that,
this is-
jerks.
I'm put out a different Dragon Ball Fighters character, like instead of all the money you spent on this, you should just
who
make
is
another
this?
Dragon Ball
Hang on a
Fighters
second.
character.
This
Yeah,
guy looks like
Which guy?
a week-old baked potato. Let me get him on here.
Okay. I'm guessing this is one of Frieza's forms.
No, this guy. Who is this guy?
Who's which guy? I can't see what you're talking. Oh, that guy. That's just
It's
one of
just
these
some
generic
guy.
fucking characters. Yeah, that's just some dude, some normal dude who can get the power of Goku for like 5 seconds.
Does he have a mustache?
I've never seen this man before in my life.
It looks like it appears that he has some sort of tiny little mustache. Yeah, this is a fucking travesty. People shouldn't be embarrassed that this thing is coming out. This thing's gonna. I hope this thing tanks so hard because it deserves to tank. That's fucking terrible. Anyway, let's move on. Also, on October 14th, a little something for Bobby. I bet you. Yes, I bet Akira Toriyama said, "Here, guys, I have an idea for a game. It's terrible, and you're gonna make it." That's exactly what happened in this meeting. Anyway, from Akira Toriyama to Tiger Woods. That didn't really transition all that well. PGA Tour 2K23 coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Unleash your tiger, Bobby.
I cannot wait to. The other cool thing here, I don't know if it's cool or not. If you get, depending on what version you get, I think that you can start playing this as early as October 11th. And nice. I am absolutely going to be picking this one up. I have decided to grab it on PC because I think being able to play some golf on the Steam Deck while hanging on the couch sounds like a pretty okay time.
Yeah. I'll tell you, if I run out of courses to play, if I run out of content on Easy Come Easy Golf, I could probably be convinced to play one of these games.
Well, Chase, this is one of the first modern golf games that has allowed you to do the same thing that you just experienced in Easy Come Easy Golf, where you can pick and choose how you swing your club, whether you're using the stick or you do the triple tap method. And I think, they're showing it here. They've got Top Golf in it, which I think could be a ton of fun for like playing with your friends.
We should just go to Top Golf. We have Top Golf.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't. We should also,
when you can just play it through.
But I think they have kind of an async method also when it comes to some multiplayer stuff, which could be kind of cool.
Oh shit! Michael Jordan's in this game. What the fuck?
He is?
Yeah, Michael Jordan's here, and you can have him wear Air Jordan 1s. What the fuck?
Where's Bill Murray? Get Bill Murray in.
He was there, right there. He's wearing a goddamn bucket hat.
What the fuck?
Michael Jordan, what the fuck is happening, Bobby?
I think I just read today too that Steph Curry's in the game.
Don Pappas never wore a bucket hat.
He wore a sombrero.
This is the 2K metaverse.
God damn it!
Yeah, I am.
If Ultra Instinct Shaggy shows up as a playable character in PGA Tour 2K23, I'm in.
You have more access to play as licensed golfers and courses. It's going to be really, really cool. I cannot wait. I will be getting this.
Bobby, let me ask you this though. This is actually, I'm trying to hit some hard hitting news here. It is called PGA Tour 2K23.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if the live golfers are in this, or are they not a part of this? Are they not allowed to be in the PGA Tour game? That'd be interesting.
We're going to find out.
Can I play as Phil Mickelson and say some dumb shit?
Maybe
before every game. That'd be great. Okay, we got to talk about it. We talked about it before, but now we got to talk about it. On October 14th, coming to PC and Xbox Series X. This fucking thing, this fucking scorn, this
is just like
guys want to
gonorrhea the video game.
Are you gonna play this, Johnny?
You want to get
no
gross.
Not even a Game Pass game.
No, I have no desire to play this. It looks just
This fucking game's so sick. You get COVID as soon as you hit the start button, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, don't you?
Sick as
Oh,
fuck.
what are those?
Yeah, baby. Everybody wants some of this.
Hey, why does this guy
look
look
at my
like?
weird
Hey, hang on, you're an anime fan.
testicles.
Why? Like
This is
like
an
the most.
anime.
This is the most anime adjacent shit I've seen. But
no, God no. This is H.R. Geiger shit. This is alien shit. That's
that
not
guy.
anime.
That guy's body looks like the attackers on Titan.
Yes, the attackers on Titan. That's what they call them. The Titan attackers.
Yeah, that looks like one of those. They're Titan attackers.
I mean, if you mean it looks fucking gross, sure. Yeah, I've not watched Attack on Titan. I know I need to at some point, but
could you imagine
God,
just like
this game looks so fucking gross. Oh,
the most like
chilled.
chilled.
Fuck this. Turn this shit off, Bobby. I don't want to see this
The
anymore.
most
Let's talk about
quiet,
Ghostbusters.
chilled, fucking cubicle working guy comes home after grinding away at his 9 to 5, and his partner pops in to check in on him,
Scorn.
and they see this, and he's just,
You fucking sick.
Are you okay?
yes, yes, yes.
Now here's the real question: is there a VR version of this game somewhere?
No, this is the game. You remember when Resident Evil came to VR and like, oh, you can play there, and here's a blood scented candle. What would the Scorn candle smell like that you get to fire up when you play this?
The bathroom at Golden Corral.
Trash water.
I think it would be like, I think there'd be some fecal matter in there. You know, you gotta have. Regret. That's what it smells like.
I hate this.
I also hate this. Please stop showing it. Let's talk about a game that's coming out on October 18th. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Ghostbusters. Who here has played a Ghostbusters video game before?
Me.
Okay. Looking at this trailer, my first thought was, this looks like the best Ghostbusters game I've ever seen. But is that really that much of a compliment? Because I don't remember other Ghostbusters
that one
games
Ghostbusters game that it got the remastering, but they removed the multiplayer from it. It had a co-op thing to it, not like this one, but
I never played that.
It was pretty good. It was solid.
I got it for free from the Epic Game Store. I just have never played it. It's one I keep saying I want to play with Jude, like co-op mode.
This is the one that you'd want to play with Jude, I think, because that co-op one, the co-op's gone now on the remaster. They pulled it out. But this is like basically Left 4 Dead, but Ghostbusters.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, first person Ghostbusting. I feel like I missed out. It's not that I don't like Ghostbusters. I watched the first two movies. I thought they were fine. But it's not a cultural touchstone with me like I know it is for some people, and I believe
is for me.
I
figured it was both of you. Maybe you guys are just like slightly older than me that it really hit you at the right time. But Ghostbusters was like an old movie to me that when I watched it was, that's funny. I like these people. I like these actors, and then I was just kind of done with it.
I've been to that firehouse. I've been there.
I think I feel pretty confident that I'm going to check this out.
Yeah. Me
like,
too.
Just being like, I mean, Ghostbusters is one of the most important movies to me. Like, this is absolutely.
I mean, busting makes you feel good.
It makes me feel good.
You should allow yourself to feel good. I get it.
And I just think, like, also just like with kind of the nature of what we've been doing on our show with like Fridays too, like this could be a really fun game for Johnny and I to check out on a Friday.
Yeah. So on Friday you can play a little Ghostbusters with him, and then on Monday you can on October 20th. I don't know if that's a Monday exactly, but when the next Monday after October 20th, you can play some Mario plus Rabbids.
Are you cool with doing that? You down?
I'll watch you play it. I ain't playing it. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope coming to Nintendo Switch. It's not that I think this is bad. We've talked about this a bunch of times, but I struggled in that first game at a point, and it just wasn't.
Hear that, folks? He hates the Switch. This man hates the Switch.
That's true. Yeah. But Bobby, did you finish the first game?
I finished the first game and all the DLC.
Nice. Okay, so I I mean, I know this is absolutely your shit. This has been one of your most anticipated games all year,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh
it's
yeah.
finally coming out. I'm excited to be there for the quick look. I'm excited to watch you play it on Casual Mondays. But until I see a little something more out of it, it's probably not something I'll be getting. But I'm super jazzed to see you jazzed about it.
Yeah, I cannot wait to check this one out.
Yeah. Anything else you want to mention about it before we move on?
Rabbids talk now, like actually talk. So I'm sorry in advance.
Should Rabbids talk?
No. But the one thing I like outside of that, like kind of tongue in cheek thing, the sparks. Like when we first found out about the game's title, we did not realize that there was going to be these abilities that you can unlock and use that are via the sparks. And it sounds like they're adding a completely new layer of combat and based off of that. And I'm really excited to. I've kind of gotten to the point where I've shied away from anything too telling of what to expect. And I want to just be. I had very little expectations going into that first game and was just blown away. And I'm wanting to try and recapture some of that flame here with this one.
That first game just made such a great first impression. It was so charming, so fun.
It was way better than it had any right to be.
Yeah.
Johnny,
Totally.
are you
And
into this?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, I surprised I didn't beat the first game, but
Yeah.
I played a bunch of it and I really liked it. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna be picking this up.
Cool.
Nice. Also on the 20th, Second Extinction is coming to PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. You know, I don't know if this game looks good or looks bad.
I've played
honestly
this.
really not for me to say. Have you?
This has been
When
on.
did you play this?
This has been.
This is an early access thing?
Yeah. It's been on Game Preview. It's been on Game Pass.
You play this?
I don't know if you played it with me. I tried to get you to play it with me.
I think I was playing it and you were installing it maybe. And I did not last more than a few seconds before I got my shit kicked in by a dinosaur.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
I mean, I have always been of the opinion, and I think I will carry this opinion to my grave. Shooting dinosaurs with guns is cool.
Yeah. It's a cool game, man.
I've never played a single Turok game, but I still think shooting dinosaurs with guns is pretty fucking cool and always a cool concept for a video game. More people should do it.
Well, guess what? You'll get the opportunity if you want to check this out. We could all check this out here in a few weeks when we get you set up.
Maybe.
I mean, it's on Game Pass. It's a Game Pass game.
I'm not here to say this game looks good. I'm kind of a little cold on it, I guess, just looking at that trailer. But shooting dinosaurs, great time. I'm still pissed that they never added a dinosaur DLC into Far Cry 3. What are you doing? I know Blood Dragon had some
bullshit
Gila monster looking thing, Komodo dragon, whatever.
What about that? What's the name of that one dinosaur game that's just like an absurd amount of dinosaurs that you have to kill? It's a Capcom
is that
game.
the Capcom one? Yeah, not Dino Crisis, but like, goddamn, you made another dinosaur game.
Anthem and Dinosaurs.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that. I think that's next year, but I'm sure we'll hear more about that relatively soon. Also on the 20th, Warhammer 40K, Shooters, Blood and Teeth.
That's a very dumb name.
Yes,
it's how I guess that's how the orcs talk in Warhammer. Correct.
This game looks kind of fun. There's a demo.
It looks very silly.
Oh, there is a demo. I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is coming to PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. So basically everything. Like side-scrolling shooter, just all sorts of guns and equipment, and just looks like a silly, fun thing. Very different from the other Warhammer 40K stuff we've seen. But also, there's so many fucking Warhammer 40K games.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. Turns out anyone can use that license.
Yeah, more or less. Good on them. I mean, this one looks kind of fun. Let's see here. On the 21st, Gotham Knights is coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. I had to ask myself, is this the Rocksteady one? And then remembered, no, it's not. That's the Suicide squad game.
There's
This
some
one
today.
is
There was some hands-on impressions. People got like a 3-hour demo at some media outlets, and fanfare's been pretty positive so far.
yeah. Is this the other team, the one that made the other Arkham game?
I believe
The one that
so.
wasn't Rocksteady? What was that one? Was that Arkham? Yeah, Origin. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the team that's working on Gotham Knights. So this is the one that has your Robin, your Nightwing, your
This is the co-op
Batgirl,
one.
and your Jason Todd,
Yep,
who
and
are all characters I know because I love comic books,
it's
especially
more
DC comic
loot
books.
focused as well. Like you're upgrading bits of armor with like common, uncommon, rare, legendary elements, and
Yeah.
you are adding in new play styles based off of how you're kind of equipping gear and doing things with your character.
Yeah. It looks like it has drop in, drop out co-op, which is kind of cool. One of the things that's weird to me, I maybe it's like a balance thing or something, but you've got 4 playable characters, but it's only 2-player co-op.
Yeah.
What?
It just seems a little weird when you've got 4 distinct characters. Shouldn't you find ways of finding?
I assumed it was
getting them all
4-player
in there?
co-op.
Yeah,
Apparently
it's
not.
only
just
2.
up to 2.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
take your picks. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it could be good. I think my exhaustion of superheroes that has mostly been movie focused is now also being applied to video games. I just don't care about superheroes anymore. But that being said, these are at least characters I feel like haven't been done to death, like I don't know, Batman.
Sure.
So there's something kind of interesting about, Jason Todd, he's the one who got killed by the Joker. Yes.
Yes.
Was it? That's the Killing Joke. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
That's me.
No.
Big
no.
comic fan. No, he was killed a different time at a different thing.
Yes. It's not Killing Joke.
Cool. All right. Well, he came back and he's mad about it, I guess. Let's move on to everybody's favorite franchise on October 21st. New Tales from the Borderlands. I guess they got their naming scheme from Nintendo. It is coming to PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Bobby? What is your question?
This is kind of like a Telltale game, right? Like that's how it plays.
Well, yeah. I mean, Telltale made the first Tales from the Borderlands.
But they're not making this one.
Well, Telltale is very different from what it was before. I don't know.
Gearbox is making this one.
Okay, can you go back to the beginning of that trailer though, where they were showing off all those studio stuff? I know I saw Gearbox in there, but I wonder if they're just publishing it or if they're actually developing it as well. But yes, the first one was made by Telltale. This one, I'm not as sure.
It's coming up right here. 2K and Gearbox.
Okay, so yeah, I'm weird. Guess Telltale's not a part of it anymore, or maybe they're just a supporting studio, or maybe whatever. Anyway, Borderlands is like a Telltale style adventure game, and it's a new one.
Nah, not for me.
And I don't think I've seen Tiny Tina yet, but
no, she's getting her own spinoff. Man, they said that they were blown away by Wonderlands, and that's now going to become its own series.
Yeah, I mean, there's a gun that walks. That's a thing.
This is dumb,
man. Oh well, look, Bobby. It had 2 characters who were just figures, and they were hitting each other. It's basically Moonbreaker. So, over Moonbreaker. We got new Tales from the Borderlands coming in.
No,
man. I really like Borderlands 1, and it feels like that franchise has just made me regret my enjoyment of Borderlands 1 literally at every turn after that.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
Yeah. Let's move on. Bobby, you mentioned this is coming to Game Pass, but also on October 21st, Persona 5 Royal is coming to basically everything that wasn't a PS4 is coming to PC, Switch, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. I mean, it's the obvious question. We've talked about it before. We all played Persona 5. None of us have played Royal. Is it being on different systems, and also, the time gap now from the original? Is this something you're interested in going back to see the new character and
I
the
like the idea
slight
of
new
going
content that
back.
they've added?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to. Like, if I'm going to play a Persona game that's not Persona 6, I'm going to force myself to go and play through 4.
Yeah.
I really want to check out Royal though. Like, I think that this is, I mean, I love this game.
I wish I could just watch like a 30-minute YouTube video that just showed me the new content.
I'm sure you could.
And that feels bad because I'm sure like this character Kasumi is pretty cool. I'd like to check out what's going on here and see how different it is. I'm also a little spoiled. I only played the golden version of Persona 4, so like I started with the one that had all the extra content in it, and maybe that's just something I have to do from now on, is not play the first version of these Persona games, and I have to wait for the second version. I know I'm never going to do that, but yeah, I just feel bad. I'd really like to see what's up in Royal, but I just don't want to put another 100 hours into one of these games that I feel like I've already played before. Let's move on to the 27th, where we're getting Star Ocean: The Divine Force coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Okay, guys, I've played the very first Star Ocean game, so
of course you have.
So I'm an expert. I'm gonna say I know everything about Star Ocean, and I'm gonna give you my expert opinion here. I think this looks like garbage.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
That's my professional opinion.
The tweet.
I think these character models look terrible. I think like when they've shown gameplay and they show people like zooming around the overworld here, I think that looks fucking awful. To be fair, I don't really know much about Star Ocean. I played that first game. That first game I don't think is a very good representation of what Star Ocean is, because that first game, in the first game, you're in kind of like a regular town, like Sword and Shield kind of style old town, and there's like a plague going on, and two fucking Star Trek people come out of nowhere and go like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And you're like, "Oh God, you guys are like from the future or whatever." And they take you up into their spaceship, and it's like, "Oh, cool. Is this thing going to be like a real good combination between, sword and shields and laser guns and stuff like that?" And then they say, "No, actually what we're going to do, we're going to send you back in time to an even older time, and you're going to play more or less the whole game in that old time, even older than your current / old time." And
I don't like that.
Honestly, any of this sci-fi stuff doesn't fucking matter. You don't get any of that. It's all sword and shield stuff. But anyway, there was a spaceship here for like half an hour, and now it's gone. That's why I think that first game is very weird in terms of what is going on here. This game, at the very least, it has some Xenoblade in it, where it's, hey, look, we have laser swords, we have guns and spaceships and crazy shit here, but also this is some sword and board kind of shit too. Except I think this looks way worse than any Xenoblade Chronicles game. You should just play a Xenoblade Chronicles game.
Yeah,
it looks bad.
I don't even like Xenoblade Chronicles, and you should play Xenoblade Chronicles over this. This looks terrible. Ugh. Anyway, on the 28th, Bayonetta 3 comes to Nintendo Switch, and that's it. Just the Nintendo Switch, because that's Nintendo's publishing it. And I didn't play 2. I remember the original Bayonetta being really fucking good. Like maybe the best one of those character action Devil May Cry style combo heavy games. I remember hearing really good things about Bayonetta 2, which again I did not play. Did anybody else here play?
That was
Bayonetta
Wii
2?
U, right?
a little bit.
Yeah, Wii U. I think they have come out with a Switch version though, right? They did get a Switch port.
I've not played any of these. So.
Okay. and then they're showing off 3, and I think 3 also looks pretty good. Yeah, these games are good. It's a little bit of a shame that it's locked to Switch, because it is platinum. They can do some very nice visual stuff, and the Switch, as much as I love it, I will admit a little underpowered. Maybe not where you're going to get your peak visual fidelity. And I think that's a shame for Bayonetta, which I think can pull off some really nice visual fidelity when it's given the opportunity.
I did hear it plays very well though. On like mechanically, it responds very well on the
Sure.
Switch. Might
Yeah,
look a little muddy,
Totally believe it.
but it plays really well.
Yeah, I bet this will be more fun to play than Astral Chain.
It's a low bar.
Taking a guess there. Let's move on. Also on the 28th, Factorio is getting a Switch port. So now it's Bobby's favorite system. Congratulations, Bobby. Bobby, would you play Factorio on a Nintendo Switch?
Yeah, for sure. If this was the only, it's a big game. It's a dense game. Visually, it's more of like somewhere. It kind of riffs on like the SNES look of like that 16-bit era. I don't think it'll be. There's a lot happening, so I am curious like how it processes all those machines chugging along. But
how much does Factorio require like fine controls? Does it even have controller support on the PC? I guess I would imagine.
I think it does. I've never used it.
Okay.
There are some shooting parts of that game that can get a little tight and twitchy based off of, because this is more of like a horde based like tower defense one of these. So you're automating, doing all this stuff, and then you're going to have waves of enemies that come in, and you're going to want to build like walls around your factory and build turrets and things like that. But then you actually have ammunition and a weapon on you that you'll need to go out and help like early in the game to take on some of those critters. So
this trailer, just looking at this giant ass factory, exhausts me. I obviously they don't plop you in there right away, but there's so much fucking shit.
I love it so much.
There's, as Johnny might say, there's too much fucking shit on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. When you look at games like this from this perspective, like a very flat perspective, a sprawling perspective, it's like, ooh, yeesh. But yeah, I think
it's intimidating.
I think like Satisfactory can do the same thing, but it feels way more approachable at times. But
yeah, and honestly, it can be even more intimidating in something like Satisfactory, because having that first person view, you actually have to look up at a lot of like the things you're building, and you are fucking tiny compared to this stuff. So you're not seeing. It's not that so much that it's sprawling; it's that it's big. It's just huge. Everything is so fucking big.
I'm getting to a point now where games like this, like I am now like I'm so tuned into what I need, what I want, and what I want it to feel like, that I will always check out new ones, especially like demos, and just see if they're adding some new things to it. But I now have the Satisfactory test, where it's just like I have Satisfactory that I can go and play. Do I need another one of these? And it's very good. This is a great game. The Factorio is amazing.
Nice. And then finally here, also on the 28th, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Nobody here cares about that game, so we'll just kind of skip over it and just move on.
Sounds good.
Johnny, what do you think about Modern Warfare 2 remake?
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
You did talk about the, was it a beta that came out? You talked about that last week?
Yeah, it was. I had so much fun with it. And I'm eager to check out Warzone 2.0. Yeah. And the campaigns are usually okay.
Yeah.
The internet's going to be really sweaty at the end of October. All right,
let's get to it. We got some monthly picks to make, and you know what? I don't want to go first. I'm going to let Bobby go first. Bobby, what are your picks for the month of October 2022?
Mario and Rabbids, we know that. Sparks of Hope, that's a big one. I'm splitting Gotham Knights with my cousin, and so I'll be picking that up. PGA Tour 2K23. Very excited for that one. And I am more than likely going to grab that Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed as well.
Nice. Johnny, how about you?
Mario and Rabbids, Modern Warfare 2, and Ghostbusters.
Nice. I mean, if so, for me, if I'm being truthful, the answer is I'm not going to buy any of these games. It's not that I don't think any of them are going to be good. It's that I know I've got a ton of shit to play, and I think I'd rather play the things that I already have that are in my backlog than the things that I'm seeing here. If you made me pick what I think are going to be good games here, I think that Mario and Rabbids game has a chance of being really cool.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing that progression to it and seeing if it stumbles in the same way that I felt the first game stumbled. But I could also see it being really, really good. And if it is really, really good, then I'll pull the trigger on it. And then Bayonetta 3, I think that's going to be really solid. I would be more inclined to pick up the second one, which I imagine would be cheaper. I don't know. It's Nintendo published, so it's probably never goes on sale. But I would be inclined to try out Bayonetta 2 before I jumped right into Bayonetta 3. But I bet that game will be good and people will like it. So if you put a gun to my head or a gun on
If
a
you put a
heel,
Gundam to your head.
oh man, please put a gun in my head. That'd be so cool. Uh, yeah, I think this is probably going to be a month where I get back on that backlog. I know Tinykin is something that I've been wanting to play and knock out. Live Alive, I still need to finish. I'm really close on that one. And Johnny, I feel like I was talking about another game to you earlier today that I was going to play. Oh, Norco. Norco is still. It's still on that list. I haven't forgotten about it. I
It's
need
going to
finish
consoles
Norco.
this month.
Well, I'm not going to start it again. So
yeah,
but I will finish Norco before the end of the year. I promise you. So I think October is going to be more about catching up than it is about adding new stuff to the backlog.
Cool.
Bobby, that's it. Why don't you wrap it up and take us home?
Yeah, we'll have a quick outro here. A lot of exciting things happening at the show right now. You can tune in and follow along on youtube.com/casual hour or twitch.tv/casual hour or wherever you listen to your podcast. If you are interested in doing so, we had Steam Next Fest demos on Monday night. We had a quick look go up for Grounded on Tuesday. We told you all about those games that we're excited for tonight on the show. On Thursday, we're putting up a quick look of Slime Rancher 2. And on Friday night, Johnny and I are grounded for Casual Friday. So come and hang out with all of us. Chase, what do you got going on?
There is a new episode of Cowbots and Aluminum, my Let's Play of SteamWorld Heist. It is out on YouTube now. You can look. You can click on the link that's there in the Twitch chat, or you can go to YouTube and search for Chasey K Plays, and you will find it. That game still really good. It's never not going to be good. And then Gamers on the Go is a handheld video game podcast that I do. It's been on a bit of a hiatus as I bought a new house and have some other stuff going on, but Bobby and I have been talking about a new episode of that we should maybe record here in the next month or so. And I've got somebody else in mind that we might bring back and do another episode about that soon. And then Johnny and I, like every 3 or 4 months, Johnny and I go, oh, you know what? We should play that Zelda Minish Cap game and do that for a podcast. So who knows? Maybe we'll find the time to do that now that we can got those hacked analog pockets. We can play whatever the fuck we want, Johnny. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So who knows? We'll see.
Great.
But gamersonthego.com, check out any of our old episodes on that. That's all I got.
Johnny, anything new with you?
I had to help my son with his math homework tonight, and I never ever want to do that again. But I know I'll have to do it again next week.
No thanks.
This the Incredibles meme. They changed math.
They did.
Thing.
They changed math, and it makes it so much more difficult to help him. Plus, I'm just bad at math, so thankfully this is just 4th grade.
Right on. Thank you, everybody.
I had to keep score for bowling tonight at our league, and it was also like, do I remember how to do just quick, easy, basic math? Like, I got it. I figured it out, but man, it was not coming to me as quick as it used to.
Yeah. Hey, that's been the October preview episode. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We will be chatting with you all soon. Tune back in Friday night for Grounded with Johnny and I on Casual Fridays. Take care, everybody.
Bye.